Hello and welcome to Nissan Fairlady Z Z33, also known as the Nissan 350Z. Now the whole reason we're going over this vehicle is because this vehicle can receive the engine swap from the Nissan Skyline R34 GTR. Yes, this vehicle can receive the RB26 and is currently the only vehicle in Gran Turismo 7 that can receive this engine swap. So today we need to see how good this pairing actually is. So if you guys do go on to enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now before we actually test out the swap, we're gonna see how the vehicle handles standard. So the Nissan Fairlady Z Z33, well, what you get with this vehicle, you receive a 3.5 liter VQ35HR engine. Now this is actually the updated VQ compared to the VQ that came out in the 2002 model. And because this one has the updated HR engine, that means this vehicle comes with 301 brake horsepower and a weight of 1480 kgs. That means this vehicle is capable of doing 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds, which isn't actually that bad. Now, how does it feel to drive it in game? Now, when you're behind the wheel of the Nissan 350Z, you are gonna get a real adrenaline rush. It's a real beginner's vehicle, early game type of things. So if you've completed Gran Turismo 7, you should have experienced a whole lot of faster vehicles compared to a 350Z. But when you are behind the wheel of the 350Z, you can appreciate the subtle and just easiness of this vehicle when it comes to its driving capability. So when it comes to cornering, you're able to just take the vehicle almost flat. Now the vehicle does understeer quite a bit, so you do need to be careful about that. But the vehicle does also oversteer, which means you can get a good slide going on, which is always appreciated. Now the vehicle does have enough torque to get you going, but with that same acceleration, it takes you 12 seconds to get from 100 kilometers per hour to 200 kilometers per hour. So it's not the fastest thing you'll ever drive. So when it comes to using this vehicle, early game is really the best place to use it, unless you're gonna upgrade the vehicle like we're gonna do now. So if you head on over to a tuning shop and you are willing to spend a couple $100,000 to upgrade this engine, well, you are gonna end up with a vehicle that produces over 600 brake horsepower and comes in with a weight of under 1200 kgs. And with those figures now being increased, we're gonna see a big improvement with power. So to be exact, the vehicle now produces 684 brake horsepower and a weight of 1154 kgs. So over the standard figures, this is absolutely massive. Now if we head back onto track, now with our fully upgraded vehicle, we see a massive difference. When it comes to acceleration, that 100 to 200 time has been sliced in half. It only takes 6 seconds now to do 100 kilometers per hour to 200 kilometers per hour. Now there are vehicles that can absolutely demolish that time, but as I said, we are just upgrading the standard VQ engine. Now the power and just the top end speed has increased tenfold. You see yourself doing almost 300 kilometers per hour by the end of the straightaway on Kyoto driving park. So that is not a long straightaway, so to be doing almost 300 kilometers per hour while using a standard engine is something to not look down upon. So now with handling, with us upgrading the suspension, the car is able to just take corners and be very stable even though you are traveling at rather high speed. Now you do need to watch out if you are using the vehicle with no traction control on. The vehicle is gonna wanna bite back and just go sideways, so you might have to fight it a bit, but most of the time the car is just under control and you don't have to really fight it that much. It's only if you are really pushing the vehicle to its limits where you're gonna need to rein it in and just try and get it around the corner in one piece. But overall, the standard VQ engine is a lot of fun. It has decent power, decent acceleration, and with the 350Z, with it being lightened, it really helps the vehicle just overall with acceleration, braking. Oh, and braking, the brakes are there. Even in the standard vehicle, you can feel the brakes. It's not to say you jam in the brake pedal and the car's not slowing down. The vehicle slows down accordingly, and is actually a really good system compared to some vehicles where you upgrade the power and there's no brakes at all. So even with the vehicle being stock, with you upgrading the power, the braking system is able to handle it, especially if you add the upgraded brakes. You don't even have to add the carbon ceramic brakes. The vehicle really good. But let's say you want a bit more. Well, to get more power out of your 350Z, you need to engine swap it. So you're gonna spend 325,000 credits on an engine, and you are gonna receive a power figure of 336 brake horsepower standard. Now the problem with adding the RB26 is it actually makes the vehicle a lot heavier. So once you add that RB26, you aren't really seeing like, wow, this is a massive power increase. No, you're gonna need to spend another 200,000 to upgrade the power even further. And once you do that upgrade, well, you're gonna be left with 960 brake horsepower with a weight of 1,225 kgs. So the power has gone up drastically, and we do see an increase in the weight, but I think the amount of power that's increased by is really just gonna outweigh it. So we should have a better performing 350Z now with the RB26 in it than with the VQ. And when you take it onto circuit, you see exactly that. Now, when it comes to driving the RB26 powered 350, you need to be careful. The vehicle is a lot more torquey compared to the VQ engine, and that means the car, once it hits boost, it wants to light up the rear tires. Now the car is insanely fast. Will I suggest using it around races with group 3 vehicles? No, do not use it, because firstly, the fuel economy is not the greatest. Then when it comes to just overall power, yes, you can beat them on a straight line, but that's about it. When it comes to cornering, you aren't gonna have the upper hand. So unless your race has a super long straightaway, that's the only real chance you have of making or growing your lead in opponents. So just take it with caution. Look, the 350Z with the RB26 engine is really good, it's really fun, but I want to see the RB26 engine go into some other vehicles. I just see the future holding a better car for the RB26 to go into. But with me saying this, the RB26 powered 350 is still a heck of a vehicle. When it comes to just handling of the vehicle, you do need to be a bit more cautious compared to the VQ. With the RB26 producing more torque, the car, as I said, it bites back even harder than the VQ. So you do need to be a bit cautious when it comes to high speed corners, because you don't want the vehicle to be just snappy and then you get flung into a wall like you saw it happen to me earlier. So you do need to be a bit careful when it comes to driving this vehicle. But overall, acceleration, top speed, all of that has improved so much over the standard VQ engine being maxed out. So if you do like the 350Z and you want to see just more power come to the vehicle, well, by all means, the RB26 engine is your go-to. The vehicle, you are able to hit 300 kilometers per hour on K-Auto driving parks straight away. So that is a very big difference compared to the VQ engine. The RB26 power is just so much better. The RB26 powered Nissan 350Z. By all means, if you want to try it out, get it. Look, it's not a bad engine swap, it's just not the best. The RB26 powered 350Z, it's an absolute delight to drive, super fun, and a really good drift vehicle. So if you're into drifting, pick the vehicle up. But with all this being said, I hope you guys did go and so enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.